Like this, or like this. Hey, y'all want me from the side? Whoa, where do we start? It all started back in 1990 when I was not even just a thought. And I'm just playing. My name is Jay Bland, Made Man. Box with me or box with me. You can call me Made Man, you can call me Justin, you can call me whatever. But I'm gonna get it. I was very active in high school. I used to be in all like school plays and things like that. A lot of plays, a lot of skits, a lot of characters. Some characters I'm not really too proud of. I played a grandma. I played a grandma and a pregnant girlfriend, and those are pretty much some points in my life where I said, hey, I can act. So I wanted to go to college for theater production. Once I got to Vincennes, Indiana, Vincennes University, I seen the type of plays they did wasn't for me. I don't wear tights. They did like a lot of high school musical type stuff, a lot of Shakespeare. I'm used to doing urban things. I'm used to doing things kind of like my way, not in a bold type of way, but I'm just used to doing things like that I see like that's around me. So reality. So once I got to college, I seen that wasn't for me. So I did music audio recording. That was by accident. I definitely didn't want to do music audio recording. By the time I realized I wanted to do film, I was already so close to graduating music audio recording. So I was like, let me just go ahead and finish. When I was down at Vincennes University, they asked me to host, I think it was like a fashion show. Long story short, I hosted a fashion show. Right after that, all the black organization was calling my phone trying to have me host the event. So it was just like, I was like, okay, I'll do it, Wasn't prepped for it, it was me in my rawest form. So if you see me now and you see me then, you're like, dang, you changed, absolutely. Like, 'cause that's when I was off the hook. That's when I was coming out the stage, talking about people's hair, talking about girls' casket makeup. I was doing it all. It was bad, but through that I learned to, kind of package it up in a way that I can now, leave a positive impact on people and things like that. So hosting at the Madam T.J. Walker building, and some guys were taking pictures for the show, and later on they became my film crew. And I started doing films from there. Of course, I used to write plays and I used to write skits, but it was like some basic stuff. I used to write stuff like sci-fi and things like action films, but I knew that I thought that I wouldn't be able to do it. I'm like, I don't know how to film this. I don't know how to edit this. So I just kept it very basic. So when I met my film crew, I actually seen one of their films. It was an action piece. It was crazy dope, and still is to this day. And it was literally like an action piece about somebody trying to find a roll of tissue, trying to get the roll of tissue. It was like a Mission Impossible spoof, but it was like dope. When I would start going back to the trash can, like, I can now make these action pieces. I can make these sci-fi pieces. So that's what really got me going in film. So like my mind is constantly thinking of film, whether I like it or not. And I know like most professions, like athletes or things like that, where it's like a lot of wear and tear on your body. I feel like filmmaking, as long as like if you have a sound mind and you're 100 years old, you can still create films. Like, well, actually, it was not too long ago where I felt like, I'm not even gonna say that I felt like film wasn't for me. I just felt like giving up. Like, I just felt like being lazy. Like, my mind was in a quicksand state of mind. It's basically like I felt like the best option for me was just to stay still and sink slow. Because it seemed like every time I tried to do something, every time I try to make a move, every time I try to make a film, every time I try to do anything that's positive in my craft, it felt like I was sinking faster. So that told me was just like, maybe this is not for you. Maybe you need to find something else. Maybe you need to find a job. Maybe you need to go out here and do something that's actually gonna take care of yourself. Like, I had all these ideas and all these thoughts going through my head about just giving up on film and giving up. I wasn't suicidal or anything. I'm not saying it like that, but I am saying that yeah, it was hard, but it was me. Like, at the end of the day, it was me. Like, I don't think that people realize that even though you might not have these resources, even though you might not have a great turnout at a show, even though you might not have the support that you think that you should have, like, you are either gonna be your biggest help or you're gonna be your biggest barrier. That's just it. And that was me. I was stuck in my funk for so long that I just got used to it. And then me seeing people around me, like my peers, be successful in like the same craft that I'm doing. It's just like, you know, what are they doing different for me? I've been doing this longer. But even in that same breath, like some of the people that I was looking to, and almost like when you're in a place where it's kind of hard for you to progress, like when you're looking at other people that's doing what you want to do, it almost turns into like to hate. So you really got to be careful. So I was looking at my peers, and it was just like, I don't really hate what they're doing, but at the same time, like, how come I can't do that? How come I'm not doing this? And it's crazy because some of those same people are the ones who reached out to me and literally pulled me out of that quicksand mind state. Something that I live by is I can, I will. Once you start saying that over and over again, once you start really believing that, and once you start, like, even when I write it out, I write it so I can see it. So I'm really starting to see as I get older that any dream is obtainable. Like, nothing is impossible. If you really want it and you really work for it, you can get it. And I've really learned that over the past 2 or 3 months. So J Blend Productions is my production company. We do a lot. But with that, you know, came hosting. With that came improv class. With that came a t-shirt line. And even at that, I felt like anything that I do, I didn't want to do it just to do it. Everything that I do, I want to be intentional in doing it. So it was like, so even if I make like a comical film, like, I want you to find some substance that you can take with you. Even if I make a t-shirt, I want you to look at it and ask me, like, what does that mean? And let me break it down for you. And you'd be like, oh, okay, that's pretty tight. So I always thought I was putting myself in this box with just film, but J Blend Productions is much more than that. Me personally, me being the creator of J Blend Productions, I don't really like the term CEO, because that's pretty, I don't know, but anyway. Me being the creator and the leader of J Blend Productions, I wanted you to do something that's going to be, I really want to be the stepping stool for somebody. I want to be a link in the chain to people's success. When people, especially from Indianapolis, Indiana, when they tell me, you know, we don't have this or I can't do that, you know, it's just like, you can say that for so long, but what are you doing to change that? So if I'm leading 15 people and I'm the one saying, oh, I don't have this, we don't have that, I'm telling them 15 people that we don't have this, and I'm kind of giving up on their dreams. So once you make it personal, once you create a vision that's going to help somebody else, and it's not just going to benefit you, I think that's when you start to make the strides in the right direction. And that's what J Blend Production is. It's a vision not just for me, but for everybody else as well. Like, I want to have a positive effect on people's families. I want to have a positive effect on people's finances. I want to have a positive effect just on people. I just want people to be able to see that, you know, they can do it and it's possible. 3 people I would want to work with, dead or alive. I would definitely have to say Spike Lee, because he's dope. And anytime you watch any of his films, I like how he has like signature shots. I like how he has signature scenes. And like, he's just like, he's, as far as filming, he's Black history. Like, you can't mention film. Like, I can't go nowhere without somebody saying, oh, you the next Spike Lee. It's just like, okay, I'm Black, and you see a camera. Like, but he's just that dope. You just know him for being that dope. The second one I'll have to say is Tom Hanks. That man is amazing. Have you seen Sully? Better. But he's just like a legend, and I just love how he can switch it up. And he's just legendary. He's about to do Mr. Rogers. Like, you got an iconic figure doing an iconic figure. Like, that's genius. And the last one is Harriet Tubman. Like, just to have her on your team, it don't matter what it is, I can still be doing film. If I got Harriet Tubman on my set, everybody's about to be doing what they're supposed to do. Like, she was about that business. She didn't play. I think we need more Harriet Tubmans. I think we need more Harriet Tubmans in film. We need more Harriet Tubmans on the art scene. We need more Harriet Tubmans in the work field, period. Just to go a little deeper, just to get people out of different mindsets. You know, my favorite movie, it would have to be something with Eddie Murphy. So I would say, in no specific order, Coming to America, Life, Harlem Nights. This don't have Eddie Murphy in it, but Little Rascals is a classic. Like, that was, you know, I think that was like the first film. Actually, it was. Little Rascals was the first film that I took the TV outside. This is a true story. I was probably like 9 or 10. I took the TV outside in the backyard. I put a cover over the TV, laid a cover on the ground, and I felt like I was at the drive-in, like a personal drive-in, and I watched Little Rascals outside. And I just thought I was just the man. I thought I was living the life. I'm pretty sure like the neighbors came outside and they seen it. They probably thought something crazy was going on, but that was the first time in my life I said, you know what? This is tight. This movie, this is tight. So Little Rascals. Oh, cannot forget Sandlot. Classic. The best film with all kid actors. Sandlot. It's classic. So, yeah. Anything with Eddie Murphy and Little Rascals, Sandlot. So when I knew I wanted to be in film, like I said, I was so close to graduating in music audio recording, and when you do music audio recording, you have to take some form of production class. So we did a video production class, and I was like, you know what, this is pretty tight. But that's actually when I start to meet my film crew as well, and I start to see their films on YouTube and things like that. Undefined Cinema, if you guys get a chance, go check them out. Undefined Cinema. Look at some of that old stuff so you can know what I'm talking about. I think the one I was talking about is called Brown Protocol, something like that. Like they were literally Mission Impossible throughout the whole thing for a roll of tissue. And just like the creativity was just like so dope. But me seeing that, I was like, you know what, I want to do film, or I want to do a film. And it was when I had a series of film called That Something. So it was That Friend, That Annoying, That, I can't remember. I just did a series of them still on YouTube. But That Dude, that's what it was. So when I did That Friend, that was my very first film. Of course, I've done stage acting, but stage acting and being on film is two different things. So they literally came in my front room like now and just turned everything into like a movie set. So like me seeing my room every day, it was, you know, regular, I'm used to it. But seeing all these big lights, this camera dead in my face, and me like loving every moment of it, I was like, you know what? I want to do this for the rest of my life. I'm talking about, I called my mom like, oh, you got the lights. I was happy. You could have set up any light and I was probably geeked about it. I was like, oh, they set up a light. Oh, I'm gonna call you back. So it was just like, that moment, it was like, yeah, I want to do this. So literally that Friday we did that Friend, and then I did Walter's World, episode of Walter's World. Was like a web series that me and my friends did. So we did an episode of that, and I was just like, this was like the best weekend of my life. I want to do this forever. So that's what it was. I think growing up watching the Disney Channel was like critical for me. The Disney Channel, like the original Disney Channel movies, like they were just so lit, and it was just like we always look forward. Like it don't matter what you was doing, you can be outside playing basketball, riding your bike. When that Disney Channel was about to come on, that Disney Channel original, and you see them kids go like that, you knew what time it was. You dropped everything and you ran in the crib. And it was just like those moments was like, man, like I didn't know that I wanted to do film, or I didn't even know I wanted to act. But I was just like, this has got all my attention. I was like, that's like the first time in my life where something had all of my attention. So, is it?
Yes.
Okay. So the Made Man Show is, the Made Man Show is my baby. That's my first kid. Like that's something that I really take a chance and a risk with. The Made Man Show is a live show. It's a live production. When I try to tell people what it's like, the things that come to mind are like the Chappelle Show, because of like how he does a comical lead-ins to his films and things like that, or to his comedy sketches. So we definitely have that element. Wild 'N Out, just because of like the energy, just because of like the culture, everything that we try to add to it. Whose Line Is It Anyway, which is the best improv show ever, because we also do a lot of improv games. We do a lot of crowd participation. It's dope. That's what the Made Man Show is. The Made Man, the show, the name came from when I was on Vincent's campus. I was the vice president of Black Student Association. I was involved in a lot of organizations. Even when I wasn't with an organization, I would do things on my own, like the injustice and the police brutality. Like I would raise awareness by having like marches and things like that. And I was really just doing it because like I wanted to raise awareness. Vincennes is a town with a lot of racist people, so I really wanted to like, yeah, we here. I wanted to give them that type of thing. So with that, my buddies, like in a joking way, like they started calling me like, oh, you the Martin Luther King of campus. And it was like a little joke, a little running joke. But my buddy Christian Willis, he started calling me, I would never forget this, because like before I was like Jay Bland Made Man, people always refer to me as Justin Funny Guy Blend. Looking back, I was like, wow, that was really cheesy, that was really corny. But that's what it was. I was just a funny guy Blend, and he was just like, man, you a made man, you the made man, you Jay Blend made man. But of course, you know, it had a little ring to it, the Jay Blend made man. So I was like, okay, you know, that's legit. When I looked up my name, Justin, like the meaning of my name, you know, everybody say, you know, my name means this. I thought like there's no meaning for Justin. There's Justin is Justin. I looked it up. It means just and truth. And I was like, gee willikers, that's me. I am just and I am the truth. Not just one. But made man means man of honor. So you take, you know, just and truth, and you mix that with a man of honor, and you get me, and you get the Jay Blend Made Man Show, which will be coming this year. I can promise you that 2018, the Jay Blend Made Man Show is coming to Indianapolis, Indiana. Now I know I really didn't give you a great description of it, but I'm going to be taking people inside of my improv class, because I'm going to be using my improv students, so to speak, to bring the show to life, bring these films to life. So, like I said, I suck at giving people descriptions, but come see for yourself. Come experience the Jay Blend Made Man Show, summer of 2018. It's on film now, so yeah, that's what it is. So, I always like to break things down to metaphors, and I would say the wisdom or positive message I would give somebody is, don't be afraid to grow. Don't be afraid to go through the rain. You know, don't be afraid to go through hard times. Like, embrace all of that. It comes with the journey. Like, nobody's journey is going to be easy. You're not going to have a cakewalk. I always tell people, you know, think about that time when you were little and you was putting on them shoes, and you start to realize your shoes start to hurt. Your feet start to hurt. So you put on those shoes, your feet start to hurt. You go tell your mom, my feet start to hurt. You see your toe in the front of your shoe. It is not because of anything else but that your foot is growing. Your foot is uncomfortable and it's going through pain because your foot is growing. So a lot of times people are in uncomfortable positions. So a lot of times people will go through different elements of life where it causes them pain. That to me says like you're growing. So embrace all of that. You just need a bigger space. You need a bigger opportunity. You need bigger situations. You have outgrown those specific situations, and now you're ready to level up. 2, I would say that understand that, I don't know how this is going to sound, but understand that everything is already inside of you. That's just kind of how I look at things. And people around you, circumstances, bring them out. So if you're great already, it's already in you. But you just got to position yourself with people and an environment that's going to let you, that's going to allow you to be great. So if you're hanging around 8 dummies, 9 times out of 10, you about to be the 9th dummy. But if you're hanging around 8 successful entrepreneurs, you know, there's a big chance that you will be the 9th. So just control your environment when you can. Understand that you can't control anybody else's decisions. Don't be afraid when people tell you no. Don't stop when people tell you no. If you make a Facebook post saying, I need people to come to this show, 150 people like it, 20 people show up, don't give up. That's, you know, that's just the way of the game. You know, just got to keep on grinding, stick to it, and never give up. Anything is possible. I can, I will.